Hey, friends, welcome back to another episode of the Grateful Human podcast. Two amazing guests with me today, Michael and Ella. They lead our efforts at the University of Michigan, our student organization there. So, Michael and Ella, happy Tuesday and welcome to the show.
Happy
Thanks.
Tuesday. Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
That's what I was going to say.
And I was just asking, this is your inaugural podcast experience, like first time being on a podcast episode. So, Ella, I'll ask you first. What are you expecting out of like the next 20 something, 30 something minutes?
Just good conversation,
That's
I
what
guess. Yeah.
I love it. That's what we came for. How about you, Michael?
Ditto, some good conversation. Maybe some interesting takes from you guys. Learn something about
Yeah,
Ella and you, Nick.
love it. We're all about the interesting takes, so I hope we all bring it. Ella, tell us a little bit about major, where you're from, and then what are you most grateful for that got you to where you are today? And you can take that question wherever you'd like.
Okay, so I'm majoring in psychology and sociology. I'm from Fraser, Michigan, which is a little bit north of Detroit. And I think I'd have to credit my friends and my family, but like I feel like my family is also like my friends. Like we kind of like act like each other's like best friends as well. So like I feel like they're all kind of like one group, and like my friends are also then my family. But I think they definitely like shaped me to where I am today, and they've like pushed me to do things that like I necessarily wouldn't have done, and just like them just being like supportive and like listening to me and like letting me talk through things has really like gotten me to where I am.
Love it. What's an example of something your friends or family have pushed you to do that you're really grateful that they did?
Yeah, so I was on a pre-med track my freshman and sophomore year, and talking to my friends, like mostly, and then like being like, Ella, you don't enjoy this. Like, this is not what you want to do. Like, listen to that, be like, you can do like so many other things, like, because like with like the same kind of like intentions that like being a doctor had, but like not on the pre-med track. So I think that has like completely like changed my like college route, and like I'm forever grateful that I like dropped that track, and like now I'm doing like I'm taking classes that I actually enjoy taking, and I'm like in clubs that like just kind of like they aren't like for like building resumes, like it's for like stuff that I just genuinely enjoy doing, and like without them I don't think I would have been able to do that on my own.
That's awesome. If you could go back to your like high school self trying to figure out what to start your major in, what is the advice that you give yourself back then?
I think I would just tell her to like just like calm down. Like there's just no need to do everything, and to just like again just like pick stuff that like interests you and not necessarily that you think you like need to do. Like just do what you want to do, not what you think you need to
Wise.
do.
The other half of this awesome duo that helps us at the University of Michigan is Michael. Michael, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah. I am a rising senior at the University of Michigan. I'm majoring in biology, health, and society, which is kind of a mix of biology and some sociology. Um, I just picked up a minor in philosophy because I love my ethics class. And let's see, the other question was, what am I grateful for that got me here today?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm gonna go my friends too, but I'm gonna credit Ally Donovan, who like really kicked off the Fleece and Thank You organization at the University of Michigan, and I actually met her my freshman year as a we had a mutual friend who introduced me, and she was like, you should talk about this organization. So we talked about it. I got involved, and over the course of a few years I've gotten more and more involved, and now I'm here today thanks to a couple friends, especially Ally.
Love that. That's awesome. She's an amazing human. I think we all agree with that
Yeah,
for sure.
she's fantastic. Yeah.
Love it. As a senior in college at, one of the most prestigious colleges around, like what are you grateful for? What's an aspect of your personality that you're grateful for that you think really helps you as you navigate what college has been?
That's a good question. I think I'm naturally pretty extroverted, so I have um I like to just talk to people and meet people, whether that be in my classes or in the library or friends of friends. And it turns this huge school into a really approachable um, kind of network of friends and acquaintances. And I feel like after 3.5 years, I can walk into almost any building, find some familiar faces, say hi, sit down, study together, talk about a day. And it turned again like a huge population into like a much smaller community. For me, it's much more tackleable.
Love that. Ella, same question. What's an aspect of your personality that you're really grateful for? You think it's helped a ton?
I think just kind of like my willingness to like try new things that like I necessarily don't know if I would like or not. And just like I feel like especially like freshman year, just like going to like places with people that like more like I guess freshman year was like weird because it was COVID, so we really only like, went to restaurants. But like I'm kind of like a picky eater, but like also just like being like no, like let me just try this, and then just kind of like the opportunities it brought me, and just like the conversations and like the friends. So just like really like not saying no to anything and just being like willing to do whatever.
Hmm. Awesome. So you said something that is really interesting to me because you have a totally different experience than I have, and that we're sitting and having this conversation in 2023, which means you were where in March of 2020? You were at UofM already? Or,
March of no, I was in my senior year of high school.
and same for you, Michael?
Yeah, same. That was an interesting time.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's no shortage of like things and experiences that were taken from you because of that time and the timing. Is there, as you look back on that, what are you grateful for about the way everything happened between, then and now? We can start with you, Ella.
Yeah, actually, I've like thought about this a lot, and because kind of like going back, like there is a lot that was taken from me, but I am like kind of grateful COVID happened when it did. Granted, I wish it would have ended sooner, but just kind of like going back to like my previous answer, like I really got to take a pause, which I hadn't like my entire life. So like being able to take a pause was really nice, and then I developed like a really nice like exercise routine, and like I went on walks with my parents a lot, so then that kind of
Mm.
brought us like closer in a way that like we weren't before. Like we never really like talked about our feelings and stuff like that, but like going on these walks kind of then like gave us the safe space to talk to each other, which was really nice. um it I think COVID was the reason that like kind of brought me to like the University of Michigan, because I don't think I would have come here otherwise. And then like I wouldn't have been like met my friends, and especially like one of my closest friends, like best friend roommate now, we went to high school together, but we weren't that close in high school. But because like our freshman year was so like weird and hard to meet people, like it brought us super close, and that like I couldn't imagine my life without her. And I don't think if COVID hadn't happened, I don't think that would have been the case. um so just little like things like that that I'm like I am grateful that COVID happened, even though it was obviously horrible.
That's really awesome that you got some of that quality family time. Like what is it about those walks that you're most grateful for and that time with parents?
I think just like having just it was really like it's like a space to like clear your mind, and it's like you it's not like running, so you're not out of breath, like you don't really have to focus, you just like walk and you just wander. And like we never went like the same routes, like we would just wander around my neighborhood, and then we would just like talk about like random things, or just like kind of talk about what was going on. um and it was just like it was a nice space to have, where it wasn't like you're just like awkwardly sitting on the couch or something. Like it's just like you're outside, you're in the sun, like. And then it's like if the conversation gets like weird, like I don't know, it's like easy to like talk about something different, or just even like having no conversation. Like sometimes like my dad and I would just go on a walk, and we wouldn't talk the whole time, but it was still just like healing in a way. It's just like you just need that silent quality time together.
Yeah, there's something very real about just being in the same room or place as someone else. Like there's totally a vibe happening that's really special. Michael, you're part of that really short window of seniors that kind of had the rug pulled quickly. How do you find gratitude and everything as you look back on it?
Yeah, I think there's plenty to be upset about. Like everyone in any age group, any position is probably very upset and had a lot of things taken away. And In the grand scheme of things, like a senior prom and walking across the stage, I don't think is that big of a deal. I know a lot of people would argue, but I think putting it in perspective kind of gave me some gratitude. And then similar to Ella, I figured out what I needed to do to kind of like take care of myself. And it's something I've continued throughout college, is focusing more on like, I need a break here. I need to focus on my mental or physical health. And then that summer I ended up landscaping because it was the only job my parents would let me have, outside. And that sucked. It really sucked. But I think looking back on it, it was a cool experience. I got really sunburnt really often. But I learned a lot about stuff I never thought I'd learn about. And it was, I came home every day exhausted and happy I did a lot of work. And it was one of those things where you could like have a goal and see your work pay off after a 8 or 10 hour day. I got to drive one of those little like excavator claw machine things once, which totally not allowed to do without like a license, but my boss did not care. Yeah, so I was grateful for that.
I am super Irish, which means I burn like a potato chip so fast. So I'm grateful for sunscreen. Very grateful for sunscreen.
Yeah. What about you? What's something that like you feel grateful for after that initial bout of everything being shut down and taken away?
Thank you for asking. Similar to Ella, I was home for most of that period of time and also got to go on a, mostly daily walk with mom and dad. I'm also a rollerblader, so I put the blades on as well. And I don't think I'd strapped the blades on in a long time, but I so looked forward every day to putting the blades on and walking around with mom and dad. So I'm grateful for that for sure.
Is rollerblades like a distance thing, or is it more of like a skate park? Like I don't know. Or is it in a rink?
Yeah, I'm a hockey player through and through, and I miss
Okay.
every day. So just putting skates on and gliding, it's like my zone for sure.
Right.
One of our family walks, my sister put on rollerblades, except she's not a rollerblader. So I just ended up dragging her the entire walk. Like she was just on my shoulder, like she just had her hands on my shoulders and I was dragging her. I don't know how that ended up being the case, but that was her rollerblading.
You got a good memory now. Like you got a great memory of you pulling your sister. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've all got more relationships in our life than we can probably even list in one sitting that we're grateful for. And Michael, you can kick this one off. What is one relationship right now that you have in your life? You're like, man, you know what? Maybe I don't say it enough, but I'm so grateful for this relationship.
All right. This one's I'm gonna go with my dad. So I live like I guess 4.5 hours from home when I'm in Michigan, which means I get home like maybe once or twice a semester. And I definitely do not get to spend a lot of in-person time with him, but I call him on the drop of a hat, like anything goes wrong. And it's just nice to hear his voice because he tends to tell me everything's going to be fine. And, stuff happens is the nice way to say it. Like, it's just, he comforts me and makes everything feel a little bit better. I'm working on a lot of applications right now for post-grad plans. And I think probably twice a week, I just go up to him and he'll spend like maybe 2 hours with me, just sitting down and working through my essays and different application stuff. And it's like ridiculous. I'm so nitpicky and he's so patient. It's very great right now. It's exactly what I need.
That's awesome. Love Dad. That's awesome. How about for you? What's a relationship you've got right now that you're really grateful for?
Yeah, I definitely have a ton, but I think my sister for sure. She's 2 years younger than me, but everyone just calls us twins. I don't really see how we look like, but I don't know. But like we were always super close growing up, but I feel like after I went away to college, like our relationship like changed where it's like a much deeper level now, and like where we like actually tell each other like again going back to COVID, like we kind of like talk about like our feelings and more like stuff of like anxieties and more like deeper level stuff that's going on rather than just like oh, like mom is making pork chop for dinner again, like gross, you know. So just kind of just like little things like that, and just like having her as just like I know she'll like always be there to support me, and I know like I'm always there to support her too, and just like I think just like giving her like the stuff that I wish I had, I really like am happy that I can like do that for her. And she just kind of like brings out like a better side of me. Like she's way more extroverted than I am. So like when I'm with her, I kind of just like feed off of her energy. And like she does a lot of things where I'm like, I could never do that. Like right now she's studying abroad in Greece, like by herself, and she's just like island hopping. And I was like, I could never imagine myself doing that. But like I know if I was with her, I would have no problem doing it. So just like I really like the qualities that she brings out in me. And I'm just like forever grateful that we are so close and that we are twins.
So good. So good. Michael, if your dad was in this conversation right now, what would you say to him to express your gratitude?
I don't know. I think something along the lines of just like a very heartfelt thank you. I thank him a lot, actually. I feel like it's one of the things I'm pretty good at in our relationship, but and he knows I really appreciate all the help, but it never hurts to say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. He's super patient, so probably just acknowledging the time and patience he puts into dealing with me.
Yeah, so good. And Ella, if sister was right here in this combo, what would you thank her for?
I just like would thank her for being her, and that like everything that she does, like it doesn't go unnoticed, and that like I notice what she's doing for me, and that like I'm proud of her, and that like again I'm just like grateful like of what she's done for me, whether she like realize it or not. That she is like helping me every single day.
That's awesome. So good. As a senior, Michael, what excites you most about like what's to come?
Oh God. It actually scares me a lot right now because I'm not quite sure what is to come, and it's pushing a lot of decisions that I thought I had the answers to, um, like about what I want to do with my life a lot closer. So I think it's like really scary, but at the same time, it's like super exciting because I have a lot of options of things I could explore. I mean, I feel like, coming from the University of Michigan, I have, this cool major. It mixes a bunch of things that I'm passionate about. And I want to use it. I just don't quite know where I want to go with it yet. Or like I have some life goals and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So it's exciting but nerve-wracking, I guess. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah. What excites you right now, Ella, as you think about what's to come?
Yeah, not definitely make my future scary, but I think just like in a small scale, the second semester like last year, I got really close like with a couple girls from like my classes, and then like we formed what we call like a girls group now. So it's just like a really solid group of friends, and I'm just like excited to like experience senior year with them and like go to the games and stuff and just like have
Mhm.
just like girls nights and stuff because I've never really had like a solid group of friends like that. So like I'm really excited just to kind of like experience like kind of the first like normal year after COVID kind of because I feel like I guess junior year was kind of normal, but like I don't know, I feel like it's finally like the world is like returning into a post COVID way. So like to finally like experience college with a good group of friends.
Love that. That's awesome. We have a surprise guest on this episode. I don't know if one of you planned this, but
I
I think
did.
that was Ella.
I'm bringing into the stream Ally D. What's up?
Hello. How is everyone today?
Great. I feel like I just got punked a little bit in a good way, in the best way. That's awesome. It's great to see you.
How are
It's
you
great
doing?
to see you too. Yeah. Good. How are you, Michael? How was abroad?
It was awesome. I want to go back.
Oh, good. Wow. Well, for everyone that's listening, we had a new guest show up into the conversation. Ella Donovan started the Fleece and Thank You student org at UofM, goes by DJ Ally D. I'm really grateful for her, for sure. Ally, we'll just slide you right into this conversation. We were talking about what excites us about like what's to come for the future. And the future itself there's a lot of like fear and anxiety that can come with it. So my question for you is, do you buy or sell the fact that fear and gratitude can't exist in the same space? And how will you use gratitude to combat, the scary things that are to come for you?
Yeah. I definitely buy that the power of gratitude is incredibly strong, especially just given my own experiences, whether that's in my personal life or even more specifically, like my personal life and how that's combined with Fleece and Thank You. I know that one of the most scary, terrifying, awful moments of my life was when my little brother was diagnosed with cancer. And yet, one of the brightest moments in that darkness was when he received his Fleece and Thank You blanket. And so it was those little moments of sunshine, those little moments of something great that really helped propel us through that time. And so that's why I feel like in my daily life, I always try to take at least a moment every day, if not more time, to reflect through something like journaling, to really focus on what I'm grateful for and what I am glad that is happening in my life or that I have in my life, like the people I have or the different experiences I've been able to participate in. And so I am definitely a 100% believer in the power of gratitude. And I think that's kind of what Grateful Human is all about with the Fleece and Thank You brand.
Love that. Great answer. And welcome right into the thick of the conversation. Thanks for just jumping right in. You're awesome. Ella, for you, how will you use your gratitude muscle as you navigate, the next 12, 24, 36 months, the things that are uncertain, all that?
Yeah, I think kind of just building off of what like Ally said, just kind of finding something, whether like something super small like each day, and just like kind of like remembering just like that, like each day, like yeah, it might have been a hard day, but like, oh, like the sun was shining today, or like, oh, you had a super nice lunch, or oh, you got to see this friend you haven't in a while. So just like kind of remembering it's like the small things that keep like life moving, and it's like just small things that
Mm-hmm.
you're grateful for, and that like that's what it's about, and that you don't have to have a perfect day every single day, and that so like the future is scary because it is unknown, but like it's also exciting, and that there's so much to look forward to.
So good. What's one small thing today that you're grateful for?
The sun, for sure. It's super sunny out. I was gonna do this outside, but my computer gets too hot, so I didn't want to like overheat it.
Really appreciate
But the weather's been so bad this summer, and I'm so sad.
Yeah.
But today, no, after this meeting, I'm going to lay outside.
Good. So good. Allie, for you, what's one small thing that you're grateful for today?
One small thing that I am very grateful for today is my cat Cheyenne. She's sitting right in front of me right now since this lovely setup allows me to join from my apartment. And I love my relationship that I've had with my cat since I got her when I was really young. And so it's so funny to see how we've taken care of each other while growing up and into my early adulthood. And so I'm very grateful for her.
So good. Michael, how are you going to use flex your gratitude muscles over some of the uncertainty that you're coming up against here?
Yeah, I think for me, it's probably a very similar answer to Ella and Alyssa. Just looking at like the small things, and realizing that like, yeah, I'm unsure about what's next, but like I have a lot of great things in my life. And really focusing on that, and not only just like focusing on the good things, but accepting the unsure, uncomfortable, not great stuff and acknowledging it and dealing with it in a way that is like healthier, and just managing it in a way that I feel comfortable with. Well, like I know I have the tools and abilities to do it, and I'm grateful to be able to handle it that way, I guess.
So good. So we ask every single guest on this show. We're trying to find the answer to this question. So Allie, you're gonna shoot first on this. Like, why is gratitude so powerful? Cue the thinking time.
I could get it started if
That'd be great.
Oh wait, did
that
he
would
say
be
for me
okay.
or for Allie?
Yeah, let's yeah, Allie, go ahead, and then
Oh, I thought he said Allie start. That's why I
Okay.
didn't say anything. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
That's
No,
embarrassing.
honestly, I thought you said Ella, Nick, and so I think I was also kind of waiting, but
Well, that's
no, I
all
that
good.
could
think
I
I
have
didn't
said
been
know.
Michael. I think I
just
said Michael, didn't I?
Oh, I heard
Yeah,
I heard Allie.
yeah, Allie
I
D.
heard Allie.
Allie D. You can kick us
I was
off.
like, I don't know
awesome.
answers though, so like
Cool, cool, cool.
take your time, people.
Okay. This is so silly of me, but can you repeat the exact wording of the question? I feel like my
Absolutely, 'cause
brain
we
got
wanna
a
make
little bit silly.
yes, we wanna make sure that you have, a great answer to contribute to our study of 1,000 humans. We are asking everyone, why is gratitude so powerful?
Right. Okay. I think that gratitude is helpful and powerful in our daily lives because if we are being super honest and candid with the situation in our world and in our communities right now, sometimes our days can look very bleak. Sometimes in our personal lives, we can be going through our toughest challenges and we don't even know it yet. Sometimes we look around at what's going on in the news or what's happening across the street and we're appalled by what's going on. And so it's really grounding to be able to use that practice of gratitude to slow everything down and say, you know what, there are some really awful things that unfortunately happen in this world, but there's also so many beautiful, amazing, wonderful people and wonderful experiences and wonderful communities or organizations that are doing things to help make life worth living and make us all feel connected and happy and safe and loved. And so in our everyday practice, it's important to take that moment to take a deep breath and say, you know what? Right. I'm stressed right now. Everything's crazy. I'm having an existential crisis because the thing I thought I wanted, I don't want anymore, whatever it might be. It's important to take that moment of pause and say, you know what? I am so grateful to have even made it here. I'm so grateful to have made it past what I thought were my darkest days into this new one because who would even have known that I would have made it to the spot that I was? And so it's important to take stock in everything that you love because if not, you really truly will get lost in everything else that's around you. And so that's what I think what makes gratitude so very powerful is that it helps bring you back down to earth when you feel like you're drifting away and helps you really show your appreciation for all the people or things or whatever it might be that you love about life.
So good. So good. Thank you for that answer. Michael, we ask everyone, why is gratitude so
Yeah.
powerful? Tell us.
Yeah, I have to follow that answer. I'm not sure how good I can do. All right. I was thinking about this. Well, I think Allie and I had this class together, actually. We took a philosophy class together, and the last paper we read, I forget what it was called, something about water. Like, what is water? It was some commencement
This is
speech.
water. Yeah.
This is water. And I guess at the end of the day, the point of the speech was that like we have the ability to really choose what we think about. And like by default, I think a lot of people end up thinking about things that make them pretty miserable. People, when you're stuck in traffic or going grocery shopping or, doing kind of mundane, monotonous activities and just thinking about whatever, it's not super pleasant, right? You're thinking, why is this traffic taking so long? Why is, everything not how it used to be? I was happier doing this, or this. And being able to change your way of thinking and reflecting about, okay, I'm really grateful that, I have this time to myself and listening to some cool music in the car. Like, I feel like you can change the way you feel and the way you think about like most everyday activities and just be a happier person because of like gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Ella, round us out. Why is gratitude so powerful?
Yeah, so Allie and Michael definitely give really great
We did.
explanations. Um, So trying to like not say what they said, because obviously like I love both of their answers. I think it just kind of reminds us what being human is, and that you don't like it's not about like the negative things in life, and it's not about, I mean, like obviously it's important to like recognize what's going around in the world, but like at the end of the day it is about like finding those like simple pleasures like in your daily life, and like finding the things that bring you joy and the things that like you're grateful for. And I think just like reminding you that like we're all here for the first time and experiencing life for the first time. And it's like, yeah, you're stuck in traffic, but again, it's like, oh, like I get to be stuck in traffic. Like I get the privilege to be like driving in a car right now, going to like this certain destination. Like maybe I'm going to see like my new best friend or something like that. So just kind of like reminding you, and I guess like kind of like what Michael was saying, like shifting your thinking and being like, this is what life is about. And it's about these little experiences that like you can think about them negatively, or you can think about them grateful, and then like again the gratitude like will just completely shift your like entire like viewpoint.
So good. For sure, I can say that everyone at Fleece and Thank You is extremely grateful for the three of you. You're the engine behind the efforts at University of Michigan. It has already resulted in tons of blankets going to tons of kids, and I can't wait for what's to come. And that's a legacy that you'll always have left behind is what you've set up there. So we're grateful for you. Thank you for taking the time to be on this episode. And obviously we're your biggest fans and cheerleaders as you take whatever comes next in life with a spoonful of gratitude along the way. So thank you very much. And thanks everyone for listening to this fire conversation with Ally D, Michael, and Ella, some of our amazing humans from the University of Michigan Student Org. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for having us.